you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Thank you, Keith, and welcome to The Collection. My name is Brad Gilmore. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. This is something that I do. This is a podcast. So with my collection of conversations, maybe I did it for a radio show. Maybe I just set it up for the podcast itself. Maybe I did it for Back to the Future, the podcast, or for my show, The Hall of Fame with Booker T. But this is the podcast where we house all these conversations. Some people collect stamps. I collect conversations. We talk to stars from music, movie, television, comedy, wrestling, sports, and entertainment. And today, speaking of wrestling, we have a former pro wrestler and also an actress, C.J. Perry, that you might know as Lana if you were a WWE fan. She's, of course, married to the Bulgarian brute, Miro, who wrestles for All Elite Wrestling. We're here today talking about her appearance in the new season of The Surreal Life on VH1. Yes, I just said that. It's happening. It's back. The Surreal Life is back, and we talked to Lana. She joined stars like Dennis Rodman and Frankie Muniz and Stormy Daniels and a lot of people going on. August Alsina, entanglements. Do any entanglements happen this time on The Surreal Life? I don't know. We're going to find out. I remember when Lana first made her debut over there in NXT with Rusev, which is what his name was at the time. And they were a great package. Great package, man. And they came over to the main roster. They had that big WrestleMania moment with John Cena. And Lana was kind of just the valet. And then she's transformed to being more in the ring. And I actually thought Lana had a lot of promise in the ring. And I hope to see her back in the wrestling sphere one day. But we talk about, obviously, her time in WWE. We talk about The Surreal Life. We talk about her and her buddy Jen Sturger, who's a friend of mine as well. And then, of course, we talk about the time that she actually shot a movie with Bruce Willis, which is awesome. Now, Bruce Willis is retired, unfortunately, but she got to share the screen with Mr. Bruce Willis, Die Hard himself. So we talk about all that this time on The Collection. So enjoy C.J. Perry.
And she joins me right now to talk about the brand new season of The Surreal Life. Yes, it's back on VH1. You can check it out Mondays at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central Time. One of the stars, the star of the show, C.J. Perry, joins me right now. C.J., how are we doing?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to talk to you. Let's talk about The Surreal Life. Let's jump right into it, because when I was growing up watching VH1 religiously, The Surreal Life was a go-to. I mean, Brigitte Nielsen, Flavor Flav. I think Greg Brady was on there. This was the show I would watch. What about you? Were you a Surreal Life fan?
Oh my God, I was a huge fan of Surreal Life. And the funny thing is that you mentioned Brigitte Nielsen. How I became aware of Brigitte Nielsen was because of Surreal Life.
Me too.
I would run home to watch it from school. I was so obsessed. And so it's so funny, most people think Rocky IV, and now that's how I became aware of Rocky IV, because she was just this brilliant Russian villain in it. But and I pulled so much inspiration from her as my character in WWE. But yeah, it's really cool. It was actually Surreal Life is how I first came to know about her.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, that same here. I that's how she got on my radar. And then you see her in Rocky IV or Cobra and things like that. And you're like, oh wow, she's awesome.
I know, it's crazy. She's amazing.
Did you like her and Flavor Flav together? That was an odd couple, was not?
Oh my God, it's so funny because I just found it so entertaining. I think that the opposites just everything about their relationship, and it was just so entertaining for me. And also I felt like there was something genuine in it, as weird as it was. Like I really felt like in that moment in time they really shared like love and affection. And I think they just decided to live it to the most, be surreal in that surreal life world, and it was great television. I was highly entertained.
So Surreal Life coming back, when you get the phone call, I guess walk me through your thought process. Were you all the way in from the jump, or did it take a little time to be like, do I want to do another reality show? I mean, what was your thought process?
All of the above. That's all those things that you just said happened. I actually got a call. It was the day after my time with WWE had finished, and I got a call that Surreal Life wanted me. My manager called me and he was like, Surreal Life wants you on the show, and they start filming in Mexico City in 6 weeks. I'm like, wait, excuse me, what? Say that one more time. Surreal Life, as in like Bridget Nielsen, Flava Flav Surreal Life? That's coming back? Oh my God. So I was like super stoked, but also I was shook because I just couldn't believe that, I would be considered to be a celebrity put in this house with other celebrities. There's just so many. I was so honored, and like I wanted to call my mom and be like, Mom, I'm a celebrity. But I think more it was I did right after all the initial like excitement. Then I was like, I don't know if I want to do a reality show again, because there's pros and cons to everything.
Sure.
And you just don't know. You're put. Not only is it a reality show, you're also put in this house for 13 days or 14 days. They take away your phone. I can't bring my dogs or my Bulgarian brute of a husband who can fight for me. So without that, I get nervous, and I do get really bad anxieties at times. And so I was nervous and a little afraid, but I decided to not let fear dictate my life. So I jumped into it.
So let me ask you this. So when they call and they say, hey, we want CJ Perry as a part of the Surreal Life, you say yes. Is your next question like, okay, well, who else is on the show?
Yes.
Okay, and then how do we think of the names? Because there's some names on this show. Like they're big names on this show.
Oh, yeah. Huge names. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That was literally my second question. Like you're doing play by play of how everything went down. I was like, wait, who's on the show? And they're like, they wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't know. My manager didn't know. And then I was trying to be like a CIA agent or a KGB spy, and I was kept on every of the showrunner or the execs. I was trying to ask like these, questions to try to put the puzzle together. Nope. They were like, we see what you're doing. I'm like, haha. So I found out when I walked into the house.
Oh my God.
I saw Dennis Rodman was there. I'm like, holy moly. Dennis Rodman? I couldn't believe it. I was such a fan of him in Chicago Bulls as a kid. And also his time with Hulk Hogan when he was tagging with him in WCW. So I was really excited. I was like, he's kind of like a wrestler too. So
right. You automatically look for the wrestling people, right? Being from that world. Like I started my radio show with Booker T, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. And, whenever Book's the
he's
best.
A legend.
He's the best.
Oh my God. I love him. I do a spinner Rooney when I wrestle because of him.
Right. I remember the Lana Rooney. He loved it. He loved it.
Oh my God. He's amazing.
Yeah. But so you always try to find the wrestling person, right? You're like, oh, okay, he's the wrestling guy. I can talk to him. Okay, so we like Dennis Rodman.
Yes. And I think also like just athletes, and it doesn't matter if it's any form of like, it could be basketball or ballet or wrestling. There's this thing about being super disciplined with your body and mind that we connect with. So that was like a connection, but also, it's Dennis Rodman. So it's like, oh my God, what could happen? And then Tamar Braxton was already there, and she's just so funny and such a sweetheart. She's Tony Braxton's sister and 10 seasons of reality hit shows, singer. She won Celebrity Big Brother. So, she knows reality TV. She's an OG in that space. And then Manny MUA was there, and I'm a big fan of him because I watch his YouTube channel. So I was so excited. I was like, yay, Manny. And then we just were there as other people keep on coming in every couple hours. Frankie Muniz was next. Then Kim Coles from Living Single. Frankie Muniz is Malcolm in the Middle, just FYI.
Absolutely. And Agent Cody Banks. How could we forget?
Exactly. And then then Stormy Daniels comes in. Stormy was great. She's highly entertaining. She came in with Susan, who some people claim is a Chucky doll, but really it's, Susan is, I don't know how to explain Susan. She's a doll that sees things. So there's that. Yep. She helps us all get rid of the bad spirits in the room. So that's good.
Yeah, you can definitely use it. I mean, it was such a cast of characters. I mean, of course, you said you bonded, I think, with Dennis Rodman. But like, who
August. August was there too.
August Alsina. Yes, of course.
Alsina. I don't say his last name right. That's awful. But August is great. I got along with August and with everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely had a connection. I guess we should have named our car something, but Tamar was my roommate. So I definitely really connected to her, and she's just so inspiring and very, she talked a lot about mental health, just bringing awareness about it. I know I think we get scared about talking about it or don't want to admit that if we struggle with certain things, and it's okay to normalize it. It's okay to have discussions about it. And she was so inspiring in that way, and really inspired and encouraged me to go on, how can I be as healthy as possible? And that includes concentrating and bringing attention and awareness to my mind and my mental health as well. All of us. We shouldn't be scared of that word. So she was great. And then August and Dennis, all four of us with Tamar would ride in the car every single day for hours to go to our activation. So we bonded too.
Let me ask, for better, for worse. Let me ask though, shooting the show, when cameras are on, coming from your acting background, being a WWE, obviously how to turn the character on, work, right? And work the audience, work the camera, whatever. How much of that is in the Surreal life? Are we seeing the volume turned up to 11 on everybody, or are these very intimate moments?
Oh, it's so interesting watching it back because, the cameras were on 24/7. So you're there for 14 days, and in every room there's cameras, there's sound, and bathroom there's cameras and sound everywhere. And on top of it, so that's just in general. So they're always going to catch it. On top of it, you have cameramen, a couple of them, and the mics in the rooms running around. Anytime you have a conversation, they're in your face filming. And you're like, oh God. Can I just tell a secret for 5 seconds? No secrets. It could make national television, global television. So, that part's, you know what you're signing up for, but it's oh my God, I can't even pee in silence without the mics here.
I know, that's kind of next level right there. That's maybe a step too far.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it's got now, I think about it and I just literally cracked up. But there was, it's interesting watching it back because there's, I believe, 6 episodes. And to me, I feel like I'm watching a highlight reel. I feel like I'm watching an Instagram reel. I feel like it's when I go on a trip and I take all these pictures and take all the, video, and then I edit it down to 7 seconds and post it on Instagram Reels. It's just the quick little highlights. And that's how watching it back, I'm oh my God, there was so much more we filmed. And it's just, the network has chosen to go with making it faster paced, comedy, lighthearted. There was definitely a lot more drama than what it shows, but it's hopefully everyone's entertained by it, and it's good television, and it's, makes people laugh, because was all of our goal.
Let me ask you this. People obviously know CJ Perry. CJPerry.com is where you can join her brand army. When we talk about WWE for just a second, what you came in as an actor and a dancer, if memory serves me correct. That was your background going into WWE. It's a one take kind of atmosphere, right? There's no business like professional wrestling. I think it's the ultimate show business boot camp. because you have to remember lines, you have to hit your cues, and you have one take to do it for a television audience and a live audience. What did you learn from WWE that you still bring to all the other projects you're involved with today?
Oh gosh, that's such a great question. And you know everything about it. I love that. I love the description you gave. I think, gosh, I miss WWE so much because of how you just described it. Because there's nothing in the world like professional wrestling, and at the highest level of such a global franchise, of being in front of, tens of thousands of people, and on top of it to be live television and huge social media following and reach. It's just it's such a merge of all these worlds, and a lot of companies don't have that. A lot of acting shows don't even have that, or studios, even a lot of them don't have that type of social media reach like the WWE has, plus it being live television, plus it being live television, plus it being like live people there, performance. Like there's just nothing in it that way. You a lot of times have either social media people who are very heavily on the social media side and they're not in the traditional space, or you have people in the traditional space that are not as on the social media side. So that's where I really enjoyed that. It was television in the traditional space. It was in front of a live audience, a live crowd when it comes to being a dancer and performing live. Of course, I love that. As an actor, I love the scripted part and the television part. And then as a creator, I love the social media part, because we were able to, on our own social accounts, kind of blur the line. They encouraged that. They encouraged really driving the story and the narrative that we were putting on screen on Fox and USA, and then blur it on the social media side. So it was like this place where you could kind of create a lot. And I learned so much. I learned so much about branding. I learned so much about telling stories, the power of social media. So I mean, that's the best university I could have ever asked for.
Now, after WWE, you also got to do a movie of Bruce Willis. I mean, I love Bruce Willis. Talk to me about the film and kind of that whole experience.
Oh, that was a blast. I mean, working with any legends like Bruce Willis or The Rock, John Cena, I'm so extremely grateful for these opportunities. Bruce is, especially now that he's retired, I'm beyond thankful to have that experience and to be in a movie with him. He was very kind to me and very nice, and seeing him act, you just immediately you're like, oh, that's why you're a movie star. He just, I guess when they say some people just have that it quality, I often think it's charisma. And I do believe we can all cultivate it, but it's interesting to compare him to, let's say, The Rock or John Cena, where their charisma would come out on the microphone and be louder and project more, while his charisma was very soft spoken and very but still there. And it was just like, whoa, you're still so captivating, even though you're whispering. So it was interesting.
And what a legend. Again, the Surreal Life, Mondays, 9/8 Central on VH1. Last question for you. I'd be remiss if I didn't let you talk about your brand army, where you can reach out to the people, your fans. You have all kinds of content out there. You were actually, I think, recently with one of my good friends. We have another mutual friend in common, Jen Sturger, my girl Jen. Yeah. Love her.
Love her.
Talk to me about the brand army. What can people find on there, and how can they subscribe and all that?
Thank you. Yes, subscribe to cjperry.com. I'm having a blast. I create content, everything from vlogging to, just posted a bunch of Halloween stuff, to me and Jen just did a collaboration, an FSU Cowgirl collaboration. So that's how we met, was at FSU and being FSU Cowgirls. So yesterday we did a real cute FSU Cowgirl throwback. And so we're both going to be posting it on our account. So subscribe. And I do mukbangs where I will eat and tell stories, from anything from wrestling stories to movie stories with Bruce Willis. Anything is I answer all my DMs. I'm able to interact with the fans, and just to get to know people on a more personal level, but also be able to put higher quality content out.
Man, it's so awesome. You know what, CJ? I wish you nothing but the most success in the world. Again, the Surreal Life goes down Mondays on VH1, 9/8 Central. CJBerry.com is where you can find out more about her. CJ, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And also the thing about what on CJBerry.com that is great is that I'm going to be telling all the stories that were not told on Surreal Life. So there's that too.
You can get the behind the scenes drama. The tea will be spilt on CJBerry.com. We appreciate you for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you. Thank you.